Should the legislature be in the business of telling schools what they can and cannot teach?
It depends. It depends in what the schools are choosing to teach. This is a constant process where we're trying to find the right balance.
I guess even the hypocrisy is bigger in Texas. You know, I'm old enough to remember when Governor Abbott used to rail against what he called cancel culture. But I guess hypocrisy, just like everything else in Texas, is big in the GOP controlled Senate because now, in the past proposed bill, they are going to limit teachers' ability to teach about Dr. King, women's suffrage, the civil rights movement, First Nation Native American history, and in an interesting twist, you are allowed to teach or mention the KKK, but if you mention the KKK, you also have to present the alternative side of what we would think would be a bad event in our history. So, like I always say, I try to be a reasoned person. I try to be someone that understands why people make the decisions they make. But this one's a little bit interesting because the only conclusion I can get to with this is that they're not doing this because they feel that, children are being taught that white people are bad. They're doing this to ensure short-term political gains. I mean, children are not stupid. There are things that we look back in history today, we see, in our grandparents or great-grandparents' time, we can't imagine being like that today. I suspect the current wave that's happening with all the voter bills around the country and this proposed bill here in Texas, and also I think something like this is a missed in Florida as well. It won't look good in history. It won't age well. It's really sad to see, that for all the ground that we made up in the 20th century, we've essentially lost all of it in the past 15 years as a country. This is not Black history. This is not Native American history. This is not women's suffrage history. This is American history. And, in Germany, they don't hide from their history. And I think they're better for it. Sadly, in our country, we do that consistently. People say, well, this, I don't want you teaching this alternative history. Well, the only reason why it's alternative history is because back in the days, that era's version of Governor Abbott fought and passed bills, and those legislators passed bills that would suppress what kids learned, what you and I learned as a kid, so we had to learn as adults. I fear this may be a step in that direction. The good news is in Texas, the Democrats are denying the Republicans the quorum that they need to pass it, so nothing's going to get passed in this legislative session. The governor can continue to call special sessions. However, this is a biannual. This is a once every 2 years body where they meet. So I don't think this will ever become law. However, it is something that is concerning. We should all, as Americans, be offended by it, regardless of your politics. It's offensive, and we should not stand for it.